he's hit his 30s. But when people talk about Mike Sims, some of the words they use are driven and dynamic and powerful. But over the last year that I've gotten to know Mike, starting with Network Marketing Pro, GoPro Recruiting Mastery last year, he's just a guy who's driven by pure raw passion and compassion. And you feel that and you sense that and it comes out of him. Mike went to the University of Auburn. He studied business and finance. And at the age of 22, he went to work for a top financial firm as a financial planner. But he realized almost immediately that what he had as unlimited dreams were not there and possible because they had put financial restrictions. They'd said, here's all you're going to be worth. Here's what you're going to do. Here's all you can do. And he realized he didn't want to be at the mercy of what other people's determination of his value was. And so very shortly, after just a short time, he entered the profession of network marketing. And he began to be mentored and he began to apply what he was mentored. And in the last 12 years, he's gone on to now become a leader of leaders and a trainer of trainers. He's earned millions of dollars. He's helped 2 companies grow to over $500 million in sales. He's taken them from startup and movement on to difficulty and then turnaround and on to great success. He is and he'll share this story with you in more detail. It's one of the things I love about his story. He's a great family man. He's got exceptional children, and he's got such a passion for his children. He'll share that with you as well. But his entire teams are his children, and he treats them as someone who cares about their future, and he cares about yours. That's why Eric had him here last year. That's why he wanted him again this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please get on your feet to finish off the evening, and a great individual. Let's bring to the stage, Network Marketing Pro style, Mr. Michael Sims! He's so much taller than me. And you're dressed in that dress I like. Love is swinging in the air tonight. Let me show you a few things. Let me show you a few things. Show you a few things about love.
Everybody ready? Awesome, awesome. Did I say the right thing? Eric told me it didn't matter, so good. First of all, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be back here again. This year we had a tremendous time last year. Isn't this a phenomenal event? Would y'all agree with that? Maybe I agree. And it's kind of surreal to be up here on stage, to be training in front of people who are my mentors. We saw Randy Schrader earlier and had a chance and opportunity to learn so much from Randy Schrader. Brian Carruthers earlier, he probably doesn't even know the type of impact that he had on my life in my previous opportunity. Of course, Eric Worre and Marina, they're almost like family to me now. I've had a chance to know Eric now for almost 14 years. And the type of impact that he's had on my life and my personal business is something I could never repay him for. And so it's good to be here. It's a real feeling. We're going to have some fun tonight because of time constraints. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. As he stated, my name is Mike Sims. I'm originally from the state of Alabama. Anybody in here from Alabama? Anybody? A few people? It's a good place to be from, isn't it? Okay? Good place to be from. Anyway, I'm from Alabama. As Curtis stated, went to school at Auburn University, and my goal was to become a professional athlete. Auburn University, yes, War Eagle, right? Yeah, we got a big game tomorrow, and I'll be trying not to look at my phone during the training to see what the score is. But anyway, went to school at Auburn University, and I thought that I was going to become a professional athlete. I thought that was my way out. I thought that was going to be the thing to get me to the type of income and things of that nature that I was looking for. But that didn't work out for me because of injury and things of that nature. And so I had to start concentrating on what you're supposed to go to school for, and that's to get a degree, okay? My first major I tried, I wanted to be a doctor. But then they told me I had to go to school for 4 more years after the first 4, and then work 4 years in residency for little or no money, and so I decided to change my major. Then I tried computer engineering, and the math courses dictated that I change my course. I was an all-A D math student, okay? And then I tried management information systems, and that was basically computer programming. And my ADHD made me change my major again because I couldn't sit in front of the computer monitors all day long looking at these computer programs. And so I finally settled into business finance. And I thought they were going to be teaching me how to go and start my own business so I could have the financial rewards, but really they were teaching me how to run someone else's business and help them reap the financial rewards. And so after finishing school, though, I was fortunate to go into my first job in financial services, and they paid me $60,000 a year. And I was excited about that. $60,000 a year right out of college is pretty good. Would y'all agree with that? pretty good. That was back in the year 2000. So they paid me $60,000 a year. And of course, as I got into that job, something started to happen to me. I just didn't start, I started, not feeling well. And then, of course, I chose not to go to the doctor. I started to do, a personal self-assessment of the illness that I was suffering from. And this illness, just kept plaguing my life. And as time went on, I figured out that the name of the illness I had was tuberculosis, okay? Anybody ever suffered from tuberculosis before, right? That was the disease I had. Some of y'all will get that when you get home, right? But anyway, tuberculosis. I was a broke financial advisor. That's a major oxymoron in it. One of my clients, though, had network marketing experience. I managed his finances. He told me that I needed to get involved in network marketing to create some passive residual income for myself. And then, of course, I could live the type of lifestyle that he was looking for because I saw his financial books. I was impressed by it. But I didn't do that because I called my parents and I told them that, I've been introduced to network marketing, and they told me to stick to my real job. See, everybody from Alabama is skeptical. That's why we last on every list except obesity, right? Everybody in the state is scared. I don't know if that's spread to your area or not, but we're last on every list. And my parents told me to stick to my real job. I listened to them. And then, of course, I kept suffering from tuberculosis, kept doing the same rat race over and over and over again. And finally, one day, I was introduced to someone in a bar area of a hotel. We used to go there and kind of decompress every single Friday. And this gentleman walked in. He was very, very sharply dressed. Make a long story short, I asked him what he did for a living. He said he was involved in network marketing. I asked him how well was it going for him. He said, I'm earning a six-figure monthly income whether I leave home or not. See, I was impressed by that because everyone I knew that earned a six-figure income from home eventually ended up incarcerated. Nobody was doing it legally, okay? So he was doing it legally. I was impressed by what he said, and so I said, man, I got to take a look at what he's doing. He invited me to a seminar the following day. He didn't tell me it was going to be 12 hours long, but he invited me to this seminar. I showed up because I was too broke not to be there. The man said $100,000 a month, and I had went out with my friends the night before and spent my light bill, okay? So that means I need to be at this seminar. And so I went to the seminar. I was totally blown away by it. He taught me some philosophies that literally messed me up mentally. There was no way I could go back to a job before. As a matter of fact, I said to myself, the job I have is the last job I will ever have. I encourage you to say that too. The job you have right now is the last job I will ever have, okay? I will ever have. But I didn't get involved with this company. I had a stack of notes. And the reason I didn't get involved with this company is because I couldn't get passionate about the products they were offering. I want everybody to write this down. If you're involved in network marketing, you must be passionate about what you're involved in. If you don't have a passion for it, you can't generate a profit from it. Does that make sense? If you don't have a passion for it, people used to approach me with different companies all the time, and that may have been a great company, but it may not have been something that I could personally get passionate about. So if you can't get passionate about it, you will never earn big profits from it. And so about a week later, they made some changes on my job, and they forced me to leave. They changed the lunch schedule. And I remember at that seminar, the man said, if someone can tell you how much time you can go eat every day, then they have too much control over your life. So that was it for me. So I quit my job. Around that same time, someone had put an ad in a paper about an opportunity. I called it, and it was a network marketing opportunity. I sat down, I got started immediately. I was full-time from day one in network marketing. I called my parents up. I told them about my decision. This time they thought I was on drugs. My dad said, those people in Atlanta have tricked you, okay? My mom said, we hope it works out because we're not going to pay your bills. And so I said to myself, I've got to make this work. Got started in the business. The first month was very tough because I figured out home base does not mean homebound. You got to leave the house, and people are not going to come to your house and just sign up. You got to go somewhere and do something, right? So I left. I started to leave the house. The second month, I was fortunate to meet Eric Worre. He was doing something called a power training. That power training changed my life because Eric said something in that training. He said, Mike, and I felt like he was talking to me. he said, Mike, the most successful people in network marketing have a sponsor that doesn't do much for them. If you're going to be successful, it's going to be because of what you do, the talents and abilities and skill sets that you develop, and your work ethic and sense of urgency is going to help you become successful. When I heard that, that's all I needed to hear. I started to plug in the other people in the company who were having success. Then my third month, I was earning about $5,000 a month. My parents called me and said, hey, is everything okay? Because you hadn't asked us for any money. I said, yes, things are good. So they decided to get started too. They were educators. My dad was assistant superintendent of a school system. My mom was a school counselor. So they decided to get started too. The 6th month involved, I had my first $10,000 a month in network marketing. I was so excited. My parents were very excited too. We did a personal financial assessment of where they were with their retirement, and they decided to retire as well. They go full-time working with me in network marketing. So my parents are now both 63. They'll be 64 next year. They have not worked a job either in the last 13 years because of the power of network marketing, okay? Awesome. Had a great run with that company. Most important thing, I learned a tremendous amount of information. Some things changed with myself, decided to leave and do some other things. I started some other traditional businesses that I still have now. And then, of course, I got back involved in network marketing with the company I'm involved with now. And of course, as Curtis said, been blessed to earn millions of dollars in income. The most important thing to me, though, is I have so many people in my organization that have crossed that $1 million mark as well. I've lost count now on how many 6-figure earners are in the team. I've got someone in an organization that out-earns me. That's the power of network marketing, and that's why I do this business, because of the fruits of your labor. It's one thing to be successful. It's another thing to go from success to significance, when you got other people that are following you doing incredible things as well. So that's my story. That's my background. What we're going to do now is we're going to get into a little bit of training here. And before I get to my PowerPoint slides, I wrote down a few things here that I call the keys to unlocking the vault, okay? There's so many different things in network marketing that are essential to you being successful. Of course, we've heard already this weekend about goal setting and the importance of setting precise goals, clear goals, and writing them down on paper. Someone last night, I think it was Jeff Roberti, talked about having a why that brings tears to your eyes. So something that will always hold you in this business when you feel like quitting, because who in here has figured out that network marketing is not easy? Everybody figure that out? Good. It's a very simple business, but it's not an easy business. So you have to have a strong why. But it's a couple more things that we really don't get a chance to talk about a whole lot that I wrote down on this piece of paper that I just want to elaborate on. Number one of the keys for people to be successful in network marketing, they have to have a major sense of urgency. Major sense of urgency. I remember watching John Malott years ago and to watch his urgency. His wife made it more urgent, okay? The leaders in this room work with a major sense of urgency and energy, because here's the deal. One of the greatest tricks that the devil plays on everyone is making you think that you got your entire life ahead of you to make changes. That's one of the greatest tricks he plays on everyone. Procrastination. You got time, you got time, you got time. Guess what? All of us in here, tomorrow is not promised to any of us. The question I ask you is this. If you're not working with a major sense of urgency now, what type of financial position would you leave your family in if the worst thing were to happen to you tonight? Would you leave your family in a financial position of strength, or would you leave them with a bunch of debt and disappointment? You must work with a major sense of urgency if you want to be successful in this business. And one of the reasons why is your goal is to create massive momentum. The more momentum you create, the more success you can create, and the faster you can create it. And see, here's the deal. Whatever the devil can't derail, he tries to delay it. He tries to delay it by placing things or people into your life that's designed to slow you down. And see, here's the thing. We're always looking for the train wreck, the thing that'll totally knock us off track. But we never pay attention to the small things that are slowly nudging us off course. See, a lot of people, the headlines, when it comes down to weather, the hurricanes and the earthquakes get the most national attention. But it's something called a termite that does more damage than those things combined. It's the little things that we think don't matter that are slowly nudging us off course. So make sure you don't allow those things to creep into your life or creep into your business that will get you off course, and then of course you're off track and you're somewhere where you don't want to be in the business. The second thing you must do is let go of things that are holding you back. Let go of things or people that are holding you back from being successful in this business. Let go of it. You must let go of it. And see, a lot of times there are things going on in our life, things going on in our business, and we don't know the root cause of it. And as I talked about last year, there's a 4-step process to solving problems and issues. A 4-step process. The first thing you must do is you must trace it. Trace it back to the root. Try to figure out the nature of what is going on. See, when you learn the nature of something, you can master it. You can't master what's around you until you master what's in you. You can't. An elephant. If you learn the nature of an elephant, you can harness it and you can ride it, or you can put that elephant to work, or you can make it do tricks in a circus. Okay? If you learn the nature of a killer whale, you can make it jump through hoops or whatever else they do at SeaWorld. If you learn the nature of air itself, you can create something that allows you to harness that air and fly on it and gets us all over the world. If you learn the nature of water, you can create a vessel that allows you to float on that water. And then, of course, you can also create electricity. If you learn the nature of what your issues are, you can figure out how to master them. And then, of course, that takes you to step number 2. It's facing the issue. You trace it, and then you must face it. A lot of times we identify what or who the problem is, and then we don't want to face it. You must face it, okay? You must face it. Look at it head on and say, you have got to change, or I have got to make some changes. I have got to do something different because I can't continue to live like this. If you've got financial issues, trace it back to the root. You may have some errors in judgment that you're making on a daily basis that's gotten you to the point where you are now. If your business isn't growing like you want it to, there may be some things that have gotten you to that point. So once you trace it, then you must face it. Then, of course, you must erase it. You must erase it. Number 3, you must erase it. A lot of times we edit our reality, or we try to let it hang around and we think, hey, it'll get better. Or we try to let a person hang around and say, hey, the relationship will get better. A relationship will get better. The mentorship will get better. Whatever will get better. Remember, ship, okay? A ship is designed to take you somewhere. If that relationship is not taking you somewhere, then it's time to replace it. Does that make sense? If the mentorship is not taking you somewhere, it's time to find a better one. If your mindset is not taking you somewhere, it's time to fix your mindset. So make sure that you replace it, and then, erase it. And then, of course, 4th is you got to erase it, okay? You got to erase it, you got to replace it. Number 4 is replace it. Replace it. Make sure that you replace the bad habits with positive things. Replace those bad relationships with good mentorship and good people around you. And so these are some of the things that will help you to be able to get rid of some of the things that are holding you back in life. You got to do it in order to be successful in this business. And see, here's what happens if you don't. It's something, a lot of people use this word called stress, okay? Stress. Now, who in here feels like you've been stressed before? Okay? I know I have, until I changed my mindset. I decided 7 years ago that I would no longer be stressed. And the reason why is this. Stress is a choice. Stress is a choice. Here's why. If someone is in my life and they're stressing me out, and I choose not to make a change, then that means I'm choosing to continue to be stressed. If my business is not taking me where I want to go because of my lack of activity, and I don't start doing the proper activity, that means I'm choosing to be stressed. Instead of calling something stressful, I call it tension, okay? Tension is good. See, stress will drive you to drinking. Tension causes you to start thinking, okay? Thinking about what you have to do to be able to change your situation. And so tension is a good thing. Tension is a good thing. Friction is a good thing. If there's nothing trying to stop you, that simply means you're not a contender. I remember a couple years ago, Manny Pacquiao, great boxer. If you're from the Philippines, I apologize. I would never say this over there. But Manny Pacquiao was a great boxer. He still is a great boxer. But he used to be a contender. Now, some other boxers don't want to fight him because what? He's no longer considered to be a #1 contender. If there's nothing coming up against you, if there's no type of friction in your life, if there's no type of tension in your life, it simply means you're no longer a contender. And I choose to be a contender. I embrace the tension. I embrace the friction because that simply means I'm going somewhere. Does everybody get that? Okay? So make sure you understand that stress is a choice, and of course, you can eliminate that stress with making the proper choices. Now, number 3, discipline. As we move forward here, discipline is very, very important. You have to discipline yourself. Discipline yourself. Discipline is the great separator. It's the great separator. Make sure that you discipline yourself, or something or someone else will discipline you. Always remember that. Discipline yourself, or something or someone else will discipline you. For instance, a heart attack, if you don't eat right, it will discipline you. Just start eating right, okay? In your life right now, if you're not applying the proper things to the business to be able to leverage yourself out of your job, then your employer will continue to discipline you by putting you into a structure that you're not totally happy with. So make sure that you practice discipline. All the top earners are very, very disciplined people. And the fourth thing is personal development. Personal development. Personal development changed my life. It changed my life, okay? Write this down. If you don't do personal development, find something else to do, because network marketing is not for you. It's not for you, okay? It's simply that. It's just nowhere around it. See, when I got involved in network marketing, I had to transform myself into someone else to be able to attract the income, attract the people, which in turn lead to the income. If you look at the root or the origin of the word transformation, the Greek word is metamorphi, okay? Metamorphi, which we think about something that goes through a metamorphosis. We think about a caterpillar. Of course, they start off as a caterpillar, they go through a metamorphosis, and then they turn into a what? A beautiful butterfly. The same thing with us as individuals. When you get involved in network marketing, you are someone. To be successful in network marketing, you have to become someone else. See, you can get yourself into network marketing. Personal development helps you get through network marketing. See, a job, you apply for it. Entrepreneurship, you have to apply yourself to it. So what are you bringing to the table and applying to the business yourself personally? That's why personal development is so important in your transformation, so important to you being successful in this profession. And of course, personal development gives you the ability to start inspiring people. See, inspire means breath. You want to breathe life into people when you meet them. You don't want to expire people, okay? That means taking the life or breath out of them. So make sure that you engage in daily personal development so you can go through that metamorphosis as all the top leaders have done. They transform themselves into something totally different than they were when they first got involved in the business. And now the income and opportunities and people are just starting to run into their lives on a daily basis. So everybody got that, okay? Everybody good? Awesome, awesome. So now let's get into some training, okay? Get into some training. Let's do a personal self-assessment, okay? A personal self-assessment. Now, let's go forward here. Did I pick the right one? Thought I did. Okay, awesome. Well, Curtis wanted to talk about my children, okay? These are my children, all right? So, I greet them when I come home. They miss me. I miss them, okay? The Maserati there, the 63 Benz, and of course, the H1 Hummer is my favorite. I mean, that thing will go anywhere, right? So those are my children that Curtis wanted me to talk about, and I do love them, and I care for them very, very much, and they love me back, okay? Awesome. And actually, the young lady yesterday, today, Susan Slide, she quoted something. She said, it takes about $700,000 to raise a kid. Did I hear that correctly? I think I'll keep my children, okay? Because they're a whole lot cheaper than $700,000. Anyway, all right. I'm just joking. All right, here we go. Let's move into it. Here we go here. All right. Now, let's get into it. What I did was, I have a home in Miami now as well, and I get a chance to see a lot of boats, okay? And I came up with this training because there's different types of boats out there for us to do a personal self-assessment of who we are and where we are and how to deal with certain personalities or compared to boats in our business, all right? And so the first boat in our business, a barge. Of course, ask yourself, because a barge has many uses, but ask yourself a personal question. Do I always have to be pushed or shoved to do something? Could I be a great team player and a leader? When people talk about me, is the word potential the word they use to describe me? Okay? Are you a barge? We certainly hope not. You don't want to be someone that always has to be pushed and prodded to be able to do something in this business. Here's a barge's mindset. Why hasn't my upline called me to check on me? That's what they think of it. Why isn't someone babysitting me? This is not the thumb-sucking division, okay? This is just, network marketing is just not that, all right? So here's how do you deal with a barge? How do you deal with a barge? Next slide here. I don't deal with them. I simply don't, okay? I replace them and hope they will figure it out and realize that the company ship is going to sail with or without them. It's going to sail. I learned this from Randy Schrader. Randy Schrader said, Mike, I don't make any outgoing phone calls to people that are already in the business. If they need me, they know how to find me. I make outgoing phone calls to prospects. They're not in the business yet. There's nothing I can say once someone knows the who, what, when, where, and how they need to do something or be somewhere. There's nothing more I can say to them. They have to take the initiative to do something. A lot of people spend all day long on the phone talking to people that are already in business. And so make sure that you're not a barge and have a barge mindset, because the company ship is going to sail with or without you. Let's go to the next one, okay? The next one is a sailboat. A sailboat. You know, a sailboat, in order for it to be effective on the water, it requires fair weather. Are you a fair weather distributor? Am I a person who is present and enthusiastic only when my business is going great? That's when you're happy. Does my attitude blow with the wind? Am I an unpredictable person? Okay? See, in this business, you have to make sure that your attitude is set. You have to make sure that you set your internal thermostat. You can't be a thermometer where you're just going and changing with whatever circumstances. You want to be a thermostat where you set the temperature. Does everybody understand that? Okay? You don't want to be someone that blows with the wind. Here's a sailboat mindset. It's raining outside, so I'm not going to the event. My guests canceled, so I'm not going to show up either. My team isn't doing anything, so I won't do nothing either. Okay? That's a sailboat mindset. How do I deal with a sailboat? I don't deal with them. I keep sponsoring and hope they figure out how to adjust their sail, because the company ship is going to sail with or without them. Does everybody understand that? Okay? You can't be a sailboat or have a sailboat mindset and expect to earn the big incomes available in this profession. Now, a canoe is my attitude and level of activity, always rocking back and forth. Is that you? Am I easily knocked off course by the slightest incident with another distributor? How many of you ever had a distributor rub you the wrong way, and then you decide to leave the business because of somebody else? It's crazy, isn't it? A canoe mindset. My coworkers and neighbors and family and friends, they say I'm crazy, so I'm depressed today. But the next day you enroll someone that you're happy. See, you can't have that type of mindset and be successful in network marketing. You have to decide that you're going to be positive. You have to decide that you're not going to rock back and forth. You have to be the person that's a power plant for the rest of your organization, because they're depending on you to be steady. Does that make sense to everybody? You have to be steady. You have to keep your mindset. You can't be someone that's rocking back and forth. Let's go to the next one here. How do you deal with a canoe? I don't deal with them. I set the proper example by always being positive, and I stay in activity mode because the company ship is going to sail with or without them. Does that make sense? Okay? Make sure you're not a canoe. Let's go to the next one. Okay? A battleship. This is major. This is major. Do I stir up contention, listen to gossip, spread gossip, disturb the peace of the organization? Am I always talking negative about other people, causing people to avoid me? Am I talking negative about the leadership? The most imperfect people in your organization will always be the leadership because they're always in front of everyone else. We're always here to take all the shots, okay? Am I the person that's talking about the leadership? Am I involved in everyone else's business instead of building my own? Terrible. Here's a mindset. I hear such and such a day now. Is that true? Has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you whatsoever. What's going on in such and such's marriage? Nothing to do with you. Take care of your own marriage. I wonder how she or he got to the position and is earning more money than their upline. It doesn't matter. How does that affect your business? Write this down. Mind your own business. M-I-N-E. M-I-N-E. Mind your own business, okay? Don't worry about everyone else's business. Don't worry about everyone else's business. How do you deal with a battleship? How do you deal with them? No, you do have to deal with these, okay? If you have I'm big on this right here. If you have a disagreement with anyone in your organization, anyone, call them directly. See, when people have a disagreement in the team, and they call me, the first thing I'm going to do is ask them, have you called a person? See, that's what adults do, okay? Children go and call someone else to talk about the problem. Man up, woman up, and call the person directly. Majority of the time, it's just simply a lack of communication. So make sure you address the situation directly. If you have a battleship in your organization, they must be handled. You can't keep sweeping those issues under the rug because eventually that rug will be so high, people in your organization will start to trip over it. So you must make sure that you handle battleships directly. And the reason why is this. Battleships are focusing on creating battles. They will always lose because the company ship is going to sail with or without them. So make sure that you're not a battleship, and if you do have them in your organization, now we know how to handle them, okay? A submarine. A submarine. Do I stay out of sight and only come up for air of opportunity occasionally? Do I surface when the top earners are coming to town? Do I only surface to complain? Here's a a submarine mindset. Eric Warrior's coming to town, so I'm going to the event, okay? I'm going to the event. The mindset the next week, I've heard Brian Carruthers present 1,000 times, so this time I'm staying at home, okay? I've heard, that's a poor mindset to have. I think the company or the team should make some changes, and until they do, I'm just gonna stay on the water. Stay on the water. Submarines will make no money in network marketing. No money whatsoever. How do we handle a submarine in the business? Now y'all scared to answer, right? I don't handle them directly. What I do for a submarine is I keep them informed through regular mediums, meaning the team newsletter, conference calls, or whatever the schedule is. I just keep them informed like I keep everyone else informed. But here's the key thing. I always make them feel welcome when they decide to surface. It's like someone who hadn't been to a religious service in a long time. The worst thing you want to hear if you haven't been in a long time is, where you been? We hadn't seen you, okay? You know they hadn't been there. The thing you should do is make the person feel welcome. If we continue to make the person feel welcome, then remember, eventually, if every time they decide to surface, the air they get is always good, then eventually they may decide to stay on the surface and actually do something. A leader's responsibility is to always create an environment for success, no matter what's happening. Because see, here's the thing. It don't matter if they're a submarine or not. It's not your business. See, network marketing is made up of a voluntary army. You were not drafted into this business. You can leave when you get ready. So you can't make anyone do anything that they're not willing to do. Does that make sense? So make sure that you understand that as well, and that's how we handle a submarine. Now, let's move right along here. Submarine. Everybody thinking, what's next? Unmanned wooden raft. Can I easily be lured? Uh-oh. Let's go back. Okay, we good? Let's go forward. Okay, An unmanned wooden raft. Can I easily be lured away because I'm not anchored into the business? See, there are unmanned wooden rafts right now who should be in this room, but they're outside talking to somebody that's not making any money, okay? You want to be taught, you want to be in the room, you want to be around the action, you want to get anchored into the business. Here's another mindset. My company is moving a little slow right now, so maybe I'll look at another company. Here's the thing. There are some reasons why you may decide to move into another network marketing company. Like really, really good reasons. But majority of the time, the problem is not the company, it's you, okay? And remember this. Wherever you go, there you are, okay? So it's not the company that needs to change. It's something that we're doing that needs to change. Try getting anchored into the business first. Put all your effort into the business first, and if it doesn't work after you've been to counseling and mentorship and activity, then there may be something that you need to change. But until then, get anchored in something. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? Don't just be floating around here. How do you deal with an unmanned wooden raft? Let's go to the next one here. I don't deal with them. It's easy to give birth and to raise the dead. The company ship is sailing. So here's the thing. You can't jump off the boat. You can't jump off the company ship trying to save the people who are just looking for an excuse to leave anyway. You can't do it. So I don't deal with them. Some people, you need to let them go. Does that make sense, okay? Because they're the very people that are holding you and your company back from having success. Let's go to the next slide here. All right. Ask yourself, am I, a pleasure boat? Do I only surface for the fun team activities, but I refuse to attend the trainings and events? Y'all got people like that in your team? Anytime you got a cookout, anytime you got a vacation, anytime you got something like that, they surface. But when it comes down to attending a training or an event, they're nowhere to be found, okay? Nowhere to be found. If you're a pleasure boat, you won't earn big money in network marketing. The pleasure boat mindset, when is the next team party, okay? Let's go to the next one. Go to the next one, sir. Now, a pleasure boat. How do you handle a pleasure boat? I don't handle them directly. But what we always do is we make them feel welcome and continue to show them how fun being on the company ship can be. And we also keep them plugged in because one day they may figure out how much fun their life can be at $20,000 a month, okay? At 20 grand a month, everything starts to get fun, okay? It starts to get fun. So you want to keep people engaged. If they just come to the party, that's fine. That's cool. Just keep them informed, keep them welcome, make them like the environment, and eventually they may decide to do something, or even better yet, lead you to someone else that's ready to go do something. Let's go to the next slide, okay? A cruise ship. Am I just cruising along with no urgency? Cruising along with no urgency. We know a cruise ship has different destinations every other day. Are your goals changing every single day? Okay? Am I just doing the minimum to stay active, just cruising into the business? A mindset of a cruise ship. I'm just going to do enough to keep qualified. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my car bonus, that's it. And if that's your goal, that's okay. But if you're looking to earn a big income in this business, you can't have a cruise mindset and expect to earn the big money in this business. Let's go to the next slide. How to handle a cruise ship. I don't handle them directly. Your goals may not be their goals. If they want to cruise, guess what? Let's get 100,000 cruisers. Does that make sense? Let's get 100,000 cruisers. The point is, if you want to get to the big income in network marketing, you just can't cruise there. You just can't cruise there. Your urgency will not be their urgency. So I sponsor some other people with more urgency because the company ship is going to sail. Let's go to the next slide here. A speedboat. Did I come into the business blazing fast, then I ran out of gas because I was building the business the wrong way? Good question to ask yourself. A speedboat mindset. What system? I just come in slamming people in. Have no idea what the system is. Just speeding right through the business. How do we handle a speedboat? How do we handle a speedboat? We handle them directly. We do. Because the worst thing that can happen is not to course correct them, and you have a phenomenal person, or someone who could be a phenomenal person in your business, but they eventually get burned out because they start spinning plates because they have no one plugged into a system, and you've lost someone who could potentially be a phenomenal person in your business. The company ship is selling, so here's my admonition. Build it fast, build it big, but build it the right way. Does everybody got that? Okay? Speedboat. Let's go to the next slide here. They're winding up. Next slide. A showboat. You got some of these in your business, don't you? Ask yourself a question. Do I brag and boast about my accomplishments? Do I think I know it all based on my title? Am I always talking about myself? A showboat mindset. I love me some me. Love me some me. This is my team. I. Y'all know people like that? I can't even stand to listen to them. You can't accomplish anything in network marketing by yourself. Understand how limiting that vocabulary is. When you use the word my or you use the word I, you have now stepped out into a war by yourself. You're by yourself to go face the rest of the world. But if you say our organization, our team, now you're going into battle with thousands of people behind your back, or a few hundred people behind your back, or if your team is small, 10 people behind your back. But if you use the word I, you have limited yourself from all your reinforcements. So make sure that you're not using the word I, my, or have that showboat mindset where you're bragging and boasting about your accomplishments, because nothing happens in network marketing without the power of a team. And then, of course, how do you handle a showboat? I counsel them immediately about staying humble. You do. You have to counsel them immediately about staying humble. The company ship is selling, so correct them before someone gets upset about hearing them talking about themselves and throw them off the ship. Okay? Throw them off the ship. So make sure that you don't have a showboat mindset. Let's go to the next slide here. Fishing boat. Am I constantly looking for ways and places to cast my net? This is a good boat, okay? You want to be a fishing boat, constantly looking for people to bring into your business. A fishing boat mindset. If it breathes, I'm going to prospect them, okay? I want to find out who they are so I can find out they qualify to be in my business. I won't go to sleep until I made my 3 exposures every single day. That's a fishing boat mindset. Let's go to the next slide here. And then, of course, how do you handle a fishing boat? You stay out of their way. Encourage them to keep fishing by contests and things of that nature. You want to praise them to continue to keep fishing on a daily basis because they help the company ship sell so much faster. Let's go to the next slide. A tugboat. Am I working hard to save lives every single day? A tugboat mindset is this. We have a better way. Now let's go save the world. Have we heard that before somewhere? Good, awesome. Eric has coined that phrase. That's a tugboat mindset. How do we handle a tugboat? Let's go to the next one here. Let the leaders lead and don't get in their way. Leave them alone. Don't get in their way. When necessary, attach yourself to them and help them pull more people to safety. But don't get in their way or try to hinder what they're doing or try to make yourself continue to be the deal. See, in network marketing, your goal is to start at the back of the room, move to the front of the room, and then move back to the back where you got people in your organization more qualified or just as qualified as you to deliver the information. That's your goal in network marketing. So don't be a tugboat, but do not get in the way of the people who are the best tugboats in your organization. Let's go to the next slide here. The question is now, what kind of network marketing boat are you? See, it's a personal question. We've gone through now several different boats. The question you have to ask yourself is, what type of network marketing boat are you personally? See, when I did this self-analysis, there were some things I need to work on. There were some things I need to start doing, stop doing, do more of, less of. There are some things I need to teach in the organization. But the personal thing you have to ask yourself is, who are you right now? Here's what we know. If you're not the right type of boat, you will never earn the big money in network marketing. I'm a very direct person. Sometimes people sugarcoat different things. You have to work on yourself, and you have to decide which type of network marketing boat are you if you're going to get to the big time income in this business. And the last thing I'll say as I leave the stage here tonight is this. something that we all should do as well when it comes down to personal development. We should all make it a habit to try to eat properly on a daily basis. See, I found out in my life, if I eat properly and work out, then I feel better. And if you feel better, you can then go what? Do better. See, in this business, you can't sell a dream if you look like a nightmare, okay? You can't do it. So make sure that you're constantly working on yourself as well, because we love each and every one of you. We want everyone to be here again next year. Not only be here, but we want everyone to be in good health and also be able to enjoy more wealth as we go out and tell the world that we too, or we do, have a better way here in network marketing. We thank you for your time.
As long as I got my suit and tie.